very thankful to anybody who has me along to tell my story, because it's part of being an inventor, right? Is actually you do your work and then you actually want people to know what you're doing and why you're doing it.
What I want to talk to you about today is how a vision that I had about 15 years ago, and I've kind of, when you invent something, you always go out on a limb in the sense that there's no market verification, nobody funds you to be an inventor, so it's purely born out of insight and thinking, I'm going to make that happen.
I did a degree in product design 20 years ago, which I guess is what you should study if you wanted to be an inventor. And that's all about the art and science of turning an idea into something that's practical and productized. And I guess for some reason I have had a stupid amount of belief in myself, so I've just punted these ideas and they're slowly grown. So but the motivation is simple, and it's wanting to make things better. So whether it's a frustration that you see that you want to improve, or whether it's a vision for some future technology that you think the world should have, they're kind of born out of some space in my mind that's deep daydream in the world that I want to see happen, and I'm impatient, so I may as well just try and make it happen.
As an inventor, somebody who's not on TV, I look to improve things, and I kind of thought, I wonder how would I go about television, right? How would I go about capturing and telling stories visually?
Where I set off on a limb 14 years ago to make a panoptic portal for virtual reality communication, so you could just shoot an experience as a bubble and share it, or stream bubble video to somebody. That was all very esoteric 15 years ago. Yesterday, Facebook just announced they're opening up to spherical video. Next month, YouTube open up to 360 video. Twitter today launched a thing called Periscope, which is all about live video feed streaming, which would lend itself to bubblescope. And so this kind of journey that I've set myself on, totally self-funded, totally at risk. I mean, there is no guarantee of anything. I ride without a safety net whatsoever. But the big tech giants of the world, which arguably is where people's TV audiences are going to, because the viewer, the audience, is looking for authenticity. And I think that TV's turned its back to that a little bit by being so constructed and being perhaps so kind of mash up and trying to play the gods a little bit, and so people are looking elsewhere, and I can see this wonderful convergence of my vision for virtual reality and what's happening in the real world with Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. And I'm all about empowering people, so it's you and your story, and I give devices to enable people to broadcast themselves. I'm trying to make things as affordable and as cheap as possible, and use design for democratic purposes.
So I re-evolved my product to work with a smartphone, and that allows you to simply take this little product, which I make for about £7 and sell for 30, and you can clip it on your, I can give you a discount code if you want one. You clip it onto the back of your phone, and it turns your camera into an all-seeing 360 camera, and you can just shoot bubbles, right? So you can shoot life in 360 and share your world.
I think it's essential for young people to become engineers, right? In fact, it's not just, there's all sorts of reasons. The world around us is designed. It's been made by somebody. If you want to feel like you contribute to the world that's around you, a great way of doing it is to kind of look at engineering and design and innovation. It shapes so much. If you look at the companies I just mentioned who are now going to lead where this whole visual communication world goes, they're tech companies. Tech companies are underpinned by engineers. If you look at 30% of the world's billionaires, they're engineers. They are the people that changed the world. They're the people that changed the world and created it today. Whether you're in Isambard Kingdom Brunel, or you're Tim Berners-Lee and you've created the www, the whole web, and whoever you are, if you're a discoverer and an engineer and a scientist, that's a very, very interesting space to be in. It's very unpopular. It's not a cool space to be in. It so should be. And I think that if you've got imagination, then that's all you really need, because it's about asking questions and about daring to dream.